this is called Gaden Lhagyama, which is related with the Lamatsongkhapa, the Jetsongkhapa, the grade. And there are so many ways to do Guru Yoga through Jetsongkhapa also. But this time this is called Gaden Lhagyama, which is very common in the global tradition, and which is permitted to practice for all kinds of practitioners. So mostly the Guru Yogas are practiced once you are initiated and empowered, who receive empowerment. Without that, the Guru Yogas are not practiced. But this Gaden Lhagyama can practice everybody, you know. But of course, you have to be a Buddhist. You must have taken refuge in 3 jewels, and then some kind of generation of Bodhimind. Those things are basic things. That must be there. But other than that, you don't need much kind of. You don't have to be initiated and so forth. So that's very common and very easy to practice, and very useful and very effective. So actually, the effectiveness, whether it is efficient or effective or not, that depends on the practitioners. So it doesn't depend on the book, it doesn't depend on the Dharma, it doesn't depend on the Guru, it doesn't depend on Buddha. It almost totally depends on the practitioners. So you should be prepared for that. Today I'm not going to talk about the basic fundamental philosophy of Buddhism, because we have already talked. We are supposed to be to have done the preparations. We are supposed to have done the preparations to practice Dharma. So now we are getting into the practice of Dharma. So therefore, I'm not going to talk about I will just go into how to practice yoga, Guru Yoga. And then I will also not talk about why we have to do Guru Yoga and why we have to go through all these practices. I will only talk about how to do it, and how to meditate and how to visualize. That's all I'm going to talk about, right? So for that, what we need is, as usual, we must motivate. The motivation part we must do the motivation part. So all of us must generate bodhicit. So the aspiration, all of them are suffering. So I don't want to see them suffering. So I would like to help them. So in order to help them to get out, to take out from samsara, I need power to help them. So the most powerful to have other beings, other sentient beings, all sentient beings is Buddha. So therefore I would like to attain Buddha. That is bodhicit. Okay? So we generate that kind of bodhicit. Just even if we don't have that kind of wish within ourselves, but at this moment you must think forcefully, and then if you don't have if you don't have the real bodhicit within yourself, it would be difficult. Like me, who are the beginners, so it is very difficult. But artificially, we must produce within ourselves. So that kind of artificial bodhicitt at least generate within ourselves, and through that we start our teaching and listening to the teaching again. Listening to the teaching. You must start listening to the teaching with this motivation. So that actually when we recited the Sanjay at the beginning, so that was these four sentences, one verse, that is taking refuge in individuals and generating bodhicitt. So that is emphasized all the time. You must remind yourself about these two things as many as you can while you are practicing, at the beginning of course, then during the practice, and at the end, and while you are doing other things, other worldly things. If you can, you should remind yourself about these two things. Keep on reminding about these two things. That would be very, very useful and helpful for our life and for all the lives to come, and for all sentient beings, right? So that kind of, with this kind of motivation, now we are going to listen to the teaching, which is called Gaden Lhagyama, and which is also called Guru Yoga. The Guru Yoga, Gaden Lhagyama Guru Yoga. So when we talk about yoga, so actually what is yoga? There are so many yogas, there are physical yogas, and then the breathing yoga, and then there are so many yogas, and yoga is very fashionable these days. So now what is the yoga? Guru Yoga, when we are talking about Guru Yoga, yoga is translated into Tibetan, that is two words put together, that is Nel Jor. Nel Jor is yoga. So Nel means the perfection, or the best, the perfection. Jor means joining with the perfection. Okay. So we are going to join with the perfection, right? So that is yoga. So that we are going to do that through the help of Guru, and that's as Guru Yoga. Okay. So so now when we are practicing Guru Yoga, as I have told many times, that the practice of Dhamma means the practice of 7 limbs, 7 branches. So that is practice of Dhamma. So while you are doing Guru Yoga, also we are practicing 7 limbs of practice through Guru and through Jetsungapa. So we are going to talk about the 7 limbs of the practice, 7 limbs of practice, right? So then, before we start, now when you practice Guru Yoga, you sit down somewhere, right, at home or wherever, in the temple or wherever. So you sit down, and if possible, you sit in lotus posture, and so if somehow it is not possible, then you can sit on chair or sofa or whatever. But it is always better to keep your back straight. That too, if you cannot, then it is helpless, of course. Somehow, if you are sick or so, then that is exceptional and a different question. Otherwise, we must keep our back straight. Okay? So, you must keep your back straight. And then, at the beginning, what you have to do is taking refuge in 3 jewels, and what? generate bodhicit. So in order to do that, you make your mind calm first. Calm. The atmosphere should be favorable for the practice. So then you create the atmosphere favorable for the practice, and then you sit down.
Hello.
And if you can, you can have an altar, and over there you might have a photo or statue of Tsongkhapa, and then you make the offerings on the altar, and then you sit down. Okay? And then you must visualize the field of merit. First, you visualize the field of merit in your front space. So you visualize the field of merit in your front space. The front space, when you visualize, the front space means that it could be a couple of meters away from where you are sitting. Okay, a couple of meters away from where you are sitting. Particularly when you visualizing the field of merit. And then actually there are two things, First you visualize the field of merit. That is actually you can visualize as vast as you can, as wide as you can. So if you can think of a huge kind of ocean, a milk ocean. So from the ocean of milk, then the wish-fulfilling tree comes out. So, and then on top of that, you can visualize 5 branches, and then you can visualize different lineage of the gurus on the different branches. Otherwise, some branches, and then all the lineages are there, all the lineage gurus are there. You can, but at the beginning, at the center, this time you must visualize Buddha Shakyamuni. All right, Buddha Shakyamuni, as we see here, Buddha Shakyamuni. All right. Then Buddha Shakyamuni should be in the nature of your guru. That is very important. Whenever you practice Guru Yoga, that is very important. Or whenever you practice any tantric practices, that is essence. You cannot do without it. That is to be noted in your practice. Okay? So if you keep the Buddha or the deity and your Guru separately, there is no way to get blessings. You will never be blessed, and if you are not going to be blessed, then you will never be able to attain, achieve any attainment. Okay, so therefore we need what we need. We must think that Buddha Shakyamuni in the nature of your Guru. In other words, your Guru in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay? That is very important to think. If you practice that, then you'll be able to think in this way. So that you visualize there, and then surrounded by direct and indirect lineages, right from Buddha Shakyamuni to Manjushri and Maitreya and the other Indian pioneers and Tibetan lineage lamas and so forth, all are surrounded. And then after that, all the deities, like the tantric deities, which is the four tantra different deities. Okay, so all of them, you just think all of them are there on the branches. After that, all the Buddhas, other Buddhas like 35 Buddhas, 8 medicinal Buddhas, and so forth. And then all the bodhisattvas, the Tara, Manjushri, and the other thing, other bodhisattvas. So filled, the space is filled with them. In front of you, the space is empty. The buildings, these buildings, other worldly, what we see, they are not there. Just you visualize something different world. So it is there. Then the Theravada traditional arahants are there. You visualize like 16 arahants, or in Chinese tradition 18 arahants. So you visualize them after that. Then Dakas and Dakinis. Then Dhammapalas means religious protectors. Mainly Mahakala, Kubera, Yamaraja, and then 4 kings, the protector 4 kings, like 4 great kings. So all of them are there in front of you. They have just come to you to help you to accumulate merit. You to accumulate merit. Okay. To help you to accumulate merit. Through them you are going to accumulate merit. That's why it is called field of merit. Okay? So you visualize that. Then you do Then you take refuge in 3 jewels. For that you need, as you might know, you need 2 causes to have taking refuge in 3 jewels. That is fear and faith or trust or belief. You need them. So you need fear because you are scared, because you are suffering, and you are going to get more suffering in the future. So you must be scared. You have thought about samsara. Okay, you have realized the sufferings of samsara. So you are scared. I'm suffering, and I'm going to suffer more. So now what I can do? Who is going to help me? So that's fear. That kind of fear you should create. You need that kind of fear. Then you look for a shelter. Then you find 3 jewels to help you. Then you can go and take refuge in 3 jewels. So right. But then you need a faith in them. You need faith in them. That if I take refuge in them, they will definitely help me. And they are able to help me. That kind of faith is necessary. That kind of trust is necessary. That kind of understanding is necessary. Absolutely necessary. So you need these 2. So when you have these, then you can take refuge in 3 jewels. But over here, we are supposed to practice Mahayana according to Mahayana tradition. So since we are going to practice according to Mahayana tradition, we need a feeling of great compassion. So here you must think of great compassion. Great compassion means the feeling of compassionate towards all sentient beings, with impartiality. There shouldn't be any partiality. There shouldn't be any, thinking of this person should be free from suffering, but that person must suffer because they are my enemy. So if they suffer, that's good. They deserve it. That is partial. That becomes partial compassion. So we cannot be that kind of compassionate person. So we should have equal compassionate feeling towards all sentient beings. So that is great compassion, what we call. So that kind of great compassionate feeling you must create. And all sentient beings must liberate from samsara. And we all take refuge in you, three jewels. And that is uncommon taking refuge in three jewels. That is not common with all the traditions. This is only with the Mahayana tradition. That's why it is called uncommon tradition, taking refuge in three jewels. Right? You understand? Good. So that is the taking refuge in three jewels. You do that 3 times. If you are, I don't know what kind of prayer you can recite. Many people, I believe, know about Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. If you are saying that, that is fine. That is taking refuge three times. You recite 3 times, being contemplating on that thought of what we have just discussed. Okay. So that is 3 times. You take 3 jewels. Refuge in 3 jewels. And then what you do after that, you must do the 4 immeasurable thoughts, that you must do after that, after taking refuge in 3 jewels, and bodhicit mind also. So when you recite the Sanjishana Sodishana, that must be here over in this book. Sanjishana Sodishana, is it in this book? 5th page. Yes. This, I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest assembly. From the virtuous merit I collected by practice and giving and other perfection, may I attain the state of Buddha in order to benefit migratory beings. That is, the last sentence is generating Bodhimind. Okay? So now the immeasurable thoughts. So that is sentient something devoted So this translation is here. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free. Page number 6. Okay. Yeah. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, anger, and attachment. So, you don't need explanation, you understand that, right? So this, all sentient beings should have happiness and its causes. If they don't have the causes, then they will not be able to get happiness. Therefore, your wish is like that. So you make this wish. So this is immeasurable, called immeasurable, because you are objecting the immeasurable sentient beings. The sentient beings are countless, so it is not measureless, immeasurable, right? You cannot measure them, right? So this you must recite 3 times. You must recite 3 times with the real feeling in your heart. What the feeling should be there, emotional feeling should be there in your heart. What you are saying is just that you recite, you read it out, and there is no feeling, no understanding in your mind or your heart. There is no feeling, and it's like a tape recorder, So tape recorder, if you record it, it can play very clearly and very nicely and so forth, but there is no feeling and there is no result. So recitation of prayers is just to help you to think in on that subject. Okay? To help you to think on that subject. So it's a kind of reminding how you think. But if you think properly, in order, then even if you cannot recite the mantra or the prayer, that doesn't matter. You think that is you are practicing. You are practicing and you are doing you are praying, right? So that is that you have done, right? After that, the ocean and the tree and the lineage, gurus and the deities all dissolve into Buddha Shakyamuni in the center. And Buddha Shakyamuni also, how do you turn into some kind of light, white light or like yellow light or whatever. Because Buddha Shakyamuni is a golden color. His color is golden glittering color, So anyway, whatever you like, the yellow color sort of light, and then there's nothing left. Only the light is left. The light come into you. Light come to you and get into your how do you say? Huh? Over here, in between your eyebrow, right? So whatever, this one. So in between these two, the light dissolve into you in between through this place, okay? And then you must visualize that you are blessed. You are totally blessed. And you received all the blessings. So actually all the bodhisattvas, all the lineage lamas, all the deities, all the dakinis, all the practitioners, all of them got into the Buddha Shakyamuni. So the Buddha Shakyamuni became in the nature of all of these, right? Of course, the Guru, the Shakyamuni is there in the nature of your Guru. So, and then that energy become a light and get into you, and that means you got all the energy, you got all the blessings, right? So you must think you are well blessed. You received all the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and lineage gurus and so forth. Okay? So you are well blessed. Then you must feel joy. You must visualize, At the beginning, what we can do is visualization. And after practice, you will be able to feel in reality. But at the moment, the reality is not there, but you must keep on visualizing. So you got the blessings. When you receive the blessings, your body becomes very light and the immense bliss. You are feeling immense bliss within yourself. So the mind becomes calm and blissful, and body is light, and physically also you become very blissful, and mentally also you become very blissful, and you are well blessed.